Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. Welcome to another full English lesson for all those who can't get enough of that beautiful thing we call the English language. It is very nice to see you here again. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we get underway with today's lesson, I would like to set a little brain teaser for you so as to give you something to mull over whilst watching today's lesson. To mull over is to think about or consider something carefully. The question is, what word can be used alongside the following 5 words? The words are gate, lamp, office, man, box. I will give you the answer at the end of the video. So, get your thinking caps on. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where a person is doing something annoying and irritating and won't stop doing it? Maybe they are talking too much about their problems, or they are doing something else that is getting on your nerves. The feeling caused by the irritation can be described as an annoyance. You might want to say something to that person so as to get them to be quiet. The only problem with doing that is you run the risk of upsetting or offending them. The point at which you feel as if you must say something can be described as the breaking point. You cannot stand it any longer. You have to say something. Phrases such as, "Please stop it." You have reached the end of your tether. You cannot take it anymore. "Please cut it out. Pack it in. Give it a rest. Belt up. Pipe down. Enough already. Put a sock in it." Of course, all of those phrases are normally used to show annoyance and are normally used in the heat of the moment. The person receiving the complaint will most likely feel annoyed or even hurt by your outburst. But sometimes it is hard to hold your feelings back. It is not unusual for a parent to tell their child off for doing something annoying. Quite often, it is the noise that a child is making that can rile the parent to the point where they lose their temper. The word rile means anger. That feeling of rage that grows inside you when something is getting on your nerves can be described as getting riled. Fortunately, most of us are able to control our anger, but sometimes, not often, but sometimes, even the most mild-mannered person might become frustrated and lose their temper. It's time to take a look at another buzzword. A buzzword is a word or phrase that is popular during a certain period or is generally popular in everyday use. Today's buzzword is hyperbole. The word hyperbole is a noun that means exaggerate or overstate something. To make a situation appear worse than it really is, or to overblow something minor so as to make it appear more devastating than it actually is, can be described as hyperbole. You might overstate your feelings or exaggerate your reaction to something for extra dramatic effect. News stories might use hyperbole to get a person's attention. Advertising often contains hyperbole so as to make a bigger impression on the general public. Social media has allowed hyperbole to slip into general use. It might be stated that something is having a bigger effect on people than it really is. People are losing their minds over these new contestants on the latest season of Love Island. In logical terms, it would be fair to say that people do not normally lose their minds over a TV show. It is hyperbole. You might hear a politician use hyperbole when stating a situation that needs putting right. This can be applied to both the problem and the solution. That is to say, the situation is made to seem far worse than it is, and the solution might appear too good to be true. They can both be exaggerated. An overreaction or overstatement can be described as over the top. It is exaggerated, overstated, overblown. It is hyperbole. Can you see the object that is next to me here? It is a simple everyday item that can be found everywhere. There might be one or more of these near you right now. This is a button. It is a useful thing for fastening your clothes with. Buttons come in all shapes, sizes and colours. The word button can be used in other ways too. A control that needs to work instantly will often be in the form of a button. It can be pressed easily. An emergency button might be placed in a room so as to activate a fire alarm. This might also be called a panic button. In order to activate the alarm, you will need to press the button. You hit the button. You push the button. An elderly person might wear an alarm button on their person so they can call for help in an emergency. If you need any assistance in the night, just press the red button. A computer will most likely have a power button on the front so as to allow you to power up the device. A lift or elevator normally has many buttons inside it. However, these days the physical button is being replaced by the touch button. Touch screens now allow you to activate a function on a device without having to press a real button. A button might be referred to as a key. A computer keyboard has buttons that are pressed to perform an action, although they are more normally referred to as keys. There are some phrases related to the word button as well. You might be on the button about something. This means that you are correct about something. An accurate statement or answer can be described as being on the button. You are on the button about the improvements that need to be made. There is also an item that can be worn on a person's clothing for a special occasion. A flower that is placed on the jacket of a person attending a wedding or some other celebration is a buttonhole. It is normally placed in the hole where a button might fasten in. The flower is often a pink or white carnation. If you want a person to stop talking, you might tell them to button it. You are telling them to say nothing. Don't tell anyone I'm getting married. Just button it. Then there is the phrase that means to purposely annoy someone so as to make them angry. To push someone's buttons. You are doing something to wind a person up and make them angry. You are pushing their buttons. If he was disagreeing with me so as to push my buttons, then he's succeeded. In American English, a button is a type of flat metal object which is pinned to a person's clothing. It is often called a badge. This is a badge. It can also be called a button. Sadly, we have come to the end of another full English lesson. Yes, I know those 10 minutes go by so quickly, don't they? Before I let you go, here is the answer to the brain teaser I set for you earlier. I asked you to name the word that can go alongside the following 5 words. The words were gate, lamp, office, man, box. The answer is post. First, there is gate post, which is the support that is normally driven into the ground and is used to support a swinging gate. Then there is lamp post, which is a long solid pole onto which a light is mounted at the top. Then there is post office, which is a building where mail is handed in and sorted for collection and delivery. Then there is postman or postwoman, which is a person who delivers those letters to you. Finally, there is postbox, which is a safe and secure place where letters are placed for later collection. That is it. It's time to go. I hope you've enjoyed today's Full English, and I really do hope you will join me again very soon for another one. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you again soon. And of course, until the next time we meet here on YouTube, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.